Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. I don't know if I'm making a serious mistake trying to blockade these ships here and taking all this punishment, or whether I should have backed out and waited for more carrier aircraft. But we're going to keep going down this path. Hopefully it won't get too much worse. And hopefully we're doing serious damage to the Japanese as well. And they can't, you know, keep damaging us. Okay, so we're getting through the upgrades, we're getting through the reinforcements. Well, we had been producing some of the heavy plants, but we're getting, okay, we've got most of our, we're going to have our convoys, a few more coming. Get some escorts, keep those. Yes, New Zealand can have a submarine plant. And we'll teach them how to read the plans. Okay, monumental architecture. Stop that. Okay, well, now that we're at war, we can do like first aid and combat medicine, so we'll do that. Reduce our attrition. And okay, we need to save up more money, maybe. More battles, yeah. Okay. Well, they're bringing in coastal battleships now, which is sort of second rate at best. Maybe we're grinding them down heavily. I mean, it's one thing to lose ships so long as we're, you know, taking them out. Taking out the enemy. Yeah, well, they might. Well, the Japanese might get closer. But they could operate out of, you know, Australian-held ports. British or French-held ports or something. Okay, we are under attack here. Okay, installation security events will do. Okay, well, I had hoped to use my navies to defend these islands, but as you can see, and I sort of had hoped by keeping the ships out there, we were keeping their ships from being able to do these. Okay, those Marines are going to crash pretty quick. Entertaining the troops, Bob Hope with an unidentified woman, and entertain the soldiers, money 5,000. Naval organization. We're gonna do naval organization, the Andrews Sisters, the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boya Company, B. And if you like that type of music, Andrews Sisters are pretty good. Not my favorite type of music, but I do like the Andrews Sisters. Okay, broadcasting advance. Good. And ground attack tactics. Attacking the ground, even better, guys. Get that evil ground. Okay, yeah, we'll let that continue. But we'll come over here and use that to do combat medicine. Okay, well. I really had hoped to hold here. And I knew those Marine brigades. 1930s hot babes. Yeah, 30s, 40s. They're sort of late 30s, early 40s, the Andrews Sisters. You can see some of their movies that they starred in. Okay, we've lost the Arizona now at sea instead of at port. Okay. Oh, the Sailing Sisters. Okay, organization regained. Okay, well, Probably after this battle, I'm going to retreat out here because I don't need to lose any more battleships. I think we're going to have to retreat. Okay. Jap attack. A Japanese submarine lobs 17 shells at Fort Stevens, Oregon. I knew of this. Where the Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean. No damage done. No return fire. So, okay. Fort Stevens, Oregon, which Oregon is up here. I think this is the Columbia River. So this is here. I added these coastal forts to match the coastal forts. Now, I had read of this long time ago, and that's one of the things, because you'll notice I've added a lot of through my Third Reich events, but I quickly threw it into here. There were a lot of coastal forts along the American coast, and the Japanese submarine came in and lobbed some shells. The coastal forts were ordered, because they spotted the submarine coming in, not to return fire. It was absolutely do not, under any circumstances, this is the local commander, do not return fire, because they knew that whatever the 3 or 4 inch gun or whatnot of the submarine wasn't going to do substantial damage, and it didn't. And they did not want to give away the positions, the effectiveness, because the Japanese, because these coastal forts go back to, well, on the West Coast, go back to, the American Civil War era, especially, forgetting the name right now. The Presidio, it's called. The Presidio, it's the Spanish name. When the Americans take it over, they keep the Spanish name. The Presidio, which just made sort of like Fort Palisades or whatever, I think the word comes from. But it's a Spanish term for it. And it's been upgraded all these along here, during different periods. The last period that was starting in the 1930s and went up until late-ish into the war, like 43 or 44, they were still building more. And the main thing that they were doing is there were a bunch of I think it was 10-inch guns or 12-inch guns. I forget, 10 or 12-inch guns that were planned for 1920s battleships that, because of the London Naval Treaty, didn't get built. And so they were being turned over to the Army as the Army was actively going to use them. The Navy was holding on to them just in case they were going to start building the battleships. But when they wanted to come out, they, did eventually the replacement were 16-inch battleship guns, so they weren't going to use these guns on ships, so they were putting them on both east and west coast, building up naval or coastal forts. And the disbandment of the coastal artillery happens because of the nuclear bombs. They realized that they weren't going to be needed. The ones not under the coastal artillery, but the ones sort of some of the bases get used as for Nike anti-air missiles, sort of long-range anti-air missiles, to shoot down incoming bombers who are carrying nuclear weapons. But yeah, that goes away. So yeah, they had the means to possibly sink the submarine, definitely shoot back at it, but they also didn't want to, so the Japanese have to know of these coastal forts. They're not a secret. They've been around. A bunch of them are disappearing guns. I don't know if you know about those, but they're guns. They're open-topped, so they would be very vulnerable to being, bombed by, aircraft, so coming off an aircraft carrier. But they're designed so that as you're at sea, you can't see the guns. You can't even see the emplacement because they, grow grass or bushes or whatever, but grass on the dirt in front of the concrete, thick dirt in front of the concrete, as in like 20 or 30 feet thick of dirt before you get to the concrete of the fort. And then right behind the fort, from looking at from the sea side, from sea looking back in at it, they have a similar sort of berm behind them that's also grass. So when you look at it, all you see is a sort of a grass hill. That's all you can see. Now, if you fly over it, you can look down and see the guns. And so, what they're designed to do is basically the sights of the gun are a periscope-like device, and so they can't be seen. They're looking through a periscope, aiming the gun. When they think they're on target, ready to shoot, the gun is on a it's on a fixed location that rotates, but it also sort of comes up over the top and exposes the gun. I know you can't see my hands move, but it comes up over the wall and gets into place as if it was properly aimed through the sights, because they do this, and then fire. And the recoil of the gun disappears the gun back down below the edge of the parapet there and locks it into place so they can reload, take their time to reload it. So it just up briefly fires, you see a big fireball, and then it disappears. So and so incoming rounds, they're probably not going to be direct, straight plunging fire. I mean, maybe arcing in a bit, but the idea is it's going to be very hard to hit that. Either you're going to be a little bit short and hit the dirt bit in front of the guns, or you're going to go long and hit the dirt behind the guns. So even if you're more or less on target, it's going to be very hard to hit these guns. And they use the dirt to impact, to deal with the the blast and whatnot of impact of the shells for the crews. So they have these disappearing guns, and those are put, I think, mostly before World War I. And so these coastal forts have been around since before. Many of them have been around since before World War I. So the Japanese, have an idea of where they're at and probably have some charts or maps. Again, a chart is things that accurately. A chart is a piece of paper that accurately maps out, if you will, charts the ocean, where and doesn't care about the land features except for ones that can be seen from the ocean. And that's accurate. And so if you're going to have inaccuracies like deep internally, you do it on the land, where a map is something that accurately charts the land but not the ocean. So lets the sort of things that are not correct be out in the ocean. So whether you call them maps or charts, the Japanese, I'm sure, have these things. And if they at all planning the attack, back in Japan, as opposed to this guy just wandering in close and deciding to do something, he probably has maps that show him where, maps or charts or whatever, shows them where these fortifications, at least the ones that they know about, are to some degree accurate, placed. But that still doesn't mean that when you're sitting out at sea, how good you're going to be able to aim your guns at them. And they did not want to give the way, how effective, what their firing arcs were, what their, effective ranges were, or any of this stuff. Wait for a real sort of invasion or major, damaging shelling that you could then shoot at real ships and cause the enemy real damage. Especially the earlier guns, like the disappearing guns. They're fairly short range for modern at the time of World War II, but they'll mess up if you get a battleship close enough to them. They're going to mess up your battleship. Might or might not sink them, but they're going to mess them up pretty hard. So now, if you know where they are and you can stand off far enough out from them and lob in shells, yeah, you're going to be all right. But if you get in too close, so they wanted to keep all that stuff. Hey, ZZ, it's going pretty well with me, at least. How are you doing? So yeah, that's just another significant incident. Okay, yeah. Okay, that battle's over. I'm withdrawing. We kept this up for a while. It was going great when we had air cover, but now that we no longer have air cover, we've lost a lot. And since the other thing that we were supposed to be doing here is, okay, we're going to move, and we're going to aggressively move out here. We're going to battle them with our submarine, probably to the destruction. Tokyo Rose broadcast, we're coming for you. Okay, We lost Wake Island just as we put our submarine out there. Too late to do anything. Okay. Japs control Wake Island. Okay. Well, historically, of course, Japan did not. They tried to get Wake Island. They did not. The U.S. carriers sunk theirs. We did have our carriers there. We did lots of damage. They did a lot of damage to our aircraft, but not to our ships there. Okay, those are looking like they're holding okay. But we have been holding, and we're still going to hold for some time, the Philippines. Money for supplies, all right. Yes, you can hit metal. Okay, we did send out, and are they here? Yes, okay. Oh, we have this guy here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go patrol here. Okay, the Office of War Information. President, we have a need to consolidate existing government informational services and deliver propaganda both at home and abroad. The purpose of the creation of Office of War Information to achieve these goals. Historically, the OWI operated from June 1942 until September 45 through radio broadcasts, newspapers, posters, photographs, films, and other forms of media. The OWI was the connection between the battlefront and the civilian communities. The office also established several overseas branches which launched large-scale information and propaganda campaigns abroad. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt promulgated the OWI on June 14th by executive order to consolidate the functions of Office of Facts and Figures, the direct predecessor, Office of Government Reports, the Division of Information of the Office of Emergency Management, the Foreign Information Service, a division of the Office of the Coordinator of Information, became the core of the overseas branches of this. Do we want to do this? Okay, money 10,000. We have that enough, yes. Supplies 5,000, plenty of that. And lose 5 manpower, or yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully that will help us out. Okay, well. Okay, we've got some motor torpedo boats and an infantry division. Right, well. We just lost an infantry division out there. This is a very infantry division and not a motorized one. Let's see if we can find an HQ somewhere. No, not an armored HQ, because again it's Red Bull. Okay, Red Bull infantry division. No, we're gonna come over to here. We'll use that HQ. Now, 2 motor torpedo boats can go out there to replace. We may have a few more coming here before it. Send those 2 out. When are the next motor torpedo boats showing up? Okay, that's it. So those 2. So let's build. They were doing actually quite well out in the Philippines. Let's build 4. And let's move these down below just to get them spammed out there as fast as possible. Okay, they're waiting. Okay, hill. Yeah, I guess you can have the hill. Okay, you head out here, get organized, at least get to the Hawaii. Do we have motor? Oh yes, we do have some. Okay, you are going to go. I think you were an earlier version of what I'm doing now. You come out to here, I guess. Put them out here and continue our useful campaign. Okay, I'm not deploying the battleships or the CVs yet because I don't have need for them. A lot to remember, and like I say, I like to play this slowly, but we're not because we're live on the interwebs. Okay, let's kick out all the liners, and we're going to bring in all of the auxiliaries, I think. That'll give us enough range for what I want to do, and enough carrying capacity. Okay. Remember to send these guys somewhere else. Temporarily. So there. No. We'll put these guys out here. No, convoy rating. Probably not needed. But what we're going to do is we're going to send all of these boats up to, that looks pretty good. We'll send them up to Tel Aviv there. That way they can operate in the Mediterranean and help out effectively. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do here is grab these 3 divisions, load them on board these ships, and see about invasion there. Okay, those are some fascist militia types, it looks like, so maybe we can do that effectively. The wash, okay. New Zealand wants more submarines. Sure, you can produce submarines. I don't know. I'm happy to have my allies doing that. Okay, yeah, we could use the money. Okay, Pareto enrollment is launched. Now, our problem before, when we were down here, we just did not have the supplies. We can see that they pushed all the way down to Mombasa. And we couldn't supply them because it's to a British port, and the British were either didn't have enough ships to supply them, which is possible because of stupid decisions like running their fucking supplies through the Mediterranean or something, or the ports just couldn't handle the size of the ships. Okay, Niagara Falls electric power plant sabotage. President foreign agents, likely German origins, have successfully sabotaged the hydroelectric plant in Niagara Falls, New York. This greatly reduces our energy production. The FBI has assured us that man, I think this is just happening in the game. That, to my knowledge, that did not happen in real life. Okay, it's just till December. Formations of the core, yeah, nice. Oh, my hurry to get this thing going. I brought in the American events from the Third Reich event, but I forgot to bring in the text that goes along. This is hamburger gets by Liberty Steaks. They're trying to get people to eat hamburger instead of steaks to, for patriotic reasons, kind of thing. So hopefully this was a good idea in that not only do we win the invasion, okay, we have lost submarine that was out here. Okay, well, so we've lost that, but we can get these guys in. Sure. Sure. New combat ace. Okay, good. Now what we really don't have out here is any serious shore bombardment. I mean, we have some destroyers, but look here, we have maybe minor shore bombard. sinking Japanese here in Galway Bay. So the Japanese are trading with somebody here that we're sinking. Okay. Oh, interesting. Air conditioning. Okay. Like I found out looking into the air conditioning, yeah, it does help the morale of the sailors on submarines, but the main thing is to keep the electronics from getting too wet, because being warm, humidity, you know, condensing on the electronics is a problem. Let's see if we can get our fuses and warheads in a better shape. Okay, and air superiority tactics have advanced. Nice. We're gonna stop that. Let's come over here. Now, I plunged a lot into officers to get them up here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back down, because we definitely needed to get our officers up to good standards, but I think now we can get back to massive American research. We start to see this to go below 110, we need to go back and, yeah, we could do silent running drive. Push more on the officers front, as it were. Yeah, we can improve destroyer class. Because things like destroyers and submarines, I'm intending to build more of them. So, where battleships, I'm really not, and carriers, I'm hoping not. Meaning, I hope we won't lose carriers in any significant number. Do we have any airplanes showing up yet? No. Well, let's start getting some of this stuff. Research, there we go. Guys, get ashore and fight these guys. Be able to take some Italians. There's Italians. Come on, Philippines, I can use some backup here. There we have... Ooh, we must have tangled with something pretty heavy to lose all of those. Oh, well, that's what... Oh, did I see you going off? Okay, you're out there. Where is my... There it is. What are you doing way out there? You get back up to the top. You're supposed to be up there hunting. Oh, what are we battling here? Okay, an auxiliary cruiser and some submarines. Okay, Saudi Arabia is going into the Axis. Will likely now be an enemy. Climb rate focus for fighters. I think that is... Yeah, one and done. Good. Amphibious unit training, basic Marine Corps training. Well, no, it's 43, so let's target some of these guys over here instead. Australia wants a submarine. Well, good for you guys. Shadowing something here. Oh, it's the raiders. Okay, okay, we can build more. So, I think we could use some more escorts. Carrier air groups. You're going. Have enough supplies, so let's reduce down our supply production. Not down to nothing, but get it down to something like that. And with all of that, naval bombers for the islands that we do control, we would be useful with that. I think that will. Yeah, this is. I mean, we're not in danger of losing, but there's some things not going our way, if you know what I mean here. Okay, steel cat. Okay, probably not going to do any more of that. Welding. Okay, well, we took out 2 more German U-boats. Guys, I want to see kick butt. Okay, truck and prime mover reliability, nice. Our submarines have got here, so what we're going to do is we're going to send these out as one at a time. And they're going to come out convoy rating passive. Oh, convoy rating passive. No, passive. Hey, Mr. Duck. Well, good. How was your trip in England? It's been a long time since I've been there. turrets. Good. So our tanks finally now have 3-man turrets. Okay, one and done. Advanced tank optics, or do we want to? Yeah. Very nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Down here. They're about ready to collapse. Filipinos have moved back into here. Okay, well, you're going to start patrolling out. No, actually cancel that. You head into here. You head into here. Okay, well. You fall back to there. I think we're going to see if we can fall back out of Mindanao and use our motor torpedo boats as our blocking force here. Oh, I'm doing very well. Export of copper to who? Venezuela? No. Okay, well, we've lost a transport here. Where we're transporting to there. Boston to Lung. Oh my god, what? I don't know. Okay, well, it looks like we can produce even more stuff. Okay, we've got a Marine division. Well, we could use a few more divisions to try to get back lost territory here. How much we need anti-tank. We already have a few HQs we could use, so yeah, we'll just do that. They're still waiting on their HQ to get here. Okay, 2nd Marine Division. And this is going to become the 2nd Marine Division. There we go. We now have the 2nd Marine Division. I don't want to waste it, so I don't know what I'm going to... Well, we could see about getting it out to Hawaii. That wouldn't be a waste. Have something to use as escorts. Oh, actually, we'll use them. You stay here. Oh, you went... Cool! F4 Phantom? Yeah, those are cool aircraft. I've never been in the cockpit of one. Oh, New Zealand wants more submarine expertise. Good for you. Good for you, New Zealand. Okay, will you head out to Hawaii? Yeah, we'll just transport you out there. Always fun to experience stuff like that firsthand. If you're here, you get to retreat. You guys go back to Hawaii to get rebuilt. all that. How is our invasion going? Well, looks like forever sort of one. Broadcasting, and then knew that. Okay, we've lost Arizona. We knew that. Oh, pause. I said pause. Pause. You weren't pausing. Okay. Yeah, we lost Arizona. Why we fight? Prelude to war. President, renowned director Frank Copra has just released the first of 7 commissioned propaganda films. I've watched, I think all of them. I don't know. I've watched a bunch of Why We Fight stuff, so I'm not going to say for sure all of them. Why We Fight was a series of 7 documentary films committed by the U.S. government. Not going to read all this. Frank Capra is a very great director. So yeah, good explanation of why we fight the war, I would say. I'm not going to say it's not propaganda, and I'm not going to say it's not true. It's because the best propaganda is true, is to take the information that is true, that supports your case, and present it, while maybe not talking about information that doesn't support your information. That may also be true too, but, you know, so... Okay, we want to see the plans, and we want to see the plans. Okay, this is where we're losing some of our... Okay, we're supposed to be patrolling and stopping our losses here. You're not doing that well enough. Do it better. Oh, MMDB, how you doing? Okay, cracking Enigma attempt. Let's crack it. Voice of America. Historically, even before the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. government, this coordination already provoked. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to read all this. You understand the concept out. Radio broadcasts. Okay, fighter ground control advance. Let that continue. These keep showing up and cutting off my attempt to retreat out of here. Okay, carrier aircraft prototype advance. Okay, grayed out. Yeah, repair. Oh, yeah, well. Wait. How close are we going to get this? We got to get a lot of these guys. We need to really spam out because we have some more here, but let's spam out another 4. Good to hear that you're doing fine. Okay, we'll look at both of these. We were going to wait a little bit to get a little more money. But I did note that we were sinking some submarines and whatnot down here. Fly transportation advance. Okay, stop that. Okay, well, this is troubling here, that we don't have enough supplies here coming in, and this port isn't so small. I mean, it's not terribly big, but shouldn't be the issue that we're having over supply. So let's look at intelligence. Convoys are being produced, 18, 17. And those aren't being done at all. Okay, well, looks like they're really being hammered with the war, the Battle of the Atlantic. Germany's really hitting them hard. We can see a lots of convoys being sunk. Now, there are things, and I could be playing this a whole lot better, as you can all see. So let's send you to there. We don't want these too small because we will take losses. We take losses anyways, but yeah, let's base these out of here maybe. Canada here. Getting those into position will definitely help. These guys over here. No, don't go through the goddamn English channel. I mean, people, realistically, come on. Oh, you should be up flying. Why weren't you? I don't know. Other air assets up here that I don't have. Oh, we just had a crash. You know, that's the first crash I've had with this. Wow. Yeah, Germany isn't being curb stomped yet. Hello, Rhaegar. Well, we're going to end this episode here at this crash. That is literally the first crash I've had with this game. It has been super stable, and I'm doing all kinds of recording and other stuff, which destabilizes it to some degree. So yeah, it's doing good. But let's stop this episode here.